Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the remix again and changing up the team a little bit to feature the Wigglytuff paired with the Diggersby and the Lapras. So classic fairy normal slash ice cores. We are going to just stay in versus this Fearow. Fortunately for us, we are going to be able to reach this icy wind, so this is going to get some significant damage or get the shield and the debuff, and that's indeed the case. So we get the debuff, we can take this next move, and looking for a potential farm. No farm, we're just going to fire off the Swift before they get to another move, because they would be able to reach one move to take us out, but we're just not going to allow that to happen. So we go into Lapras versus their Shadow Diggersby. Okay, let's see what they end up doing here. They throw these Scorching Sands. For some reason, it says it's not effective. Our opponent does get the debuff though, and we're just gonna have to fire off a bunch of Sparklings, as this Lantern is the worst thing we could see with our own Lapras. We are not running the Skull Bash, so we can't even fight back with some neutral damage. At least the sideways are adding up. Our opponent goes for the Surf Bait. We're just going to bank the Sparkling now, and we're going to head into our back line. This Diggersby, unfortunately, is taking super effective fast move pressure, so we're just going to have to invest the shields here. And we're looking for the potential catch. Not really a catch, because we were going to throw Scorching Sands anyways, and this just forces us to throw the energy into this Diggersby. Now, the Diggersby is at a health disadvantage, but because they're Shadow, they're going to be able to fight back and get us into the low yellow. But we have another Scorching Sands ready, and at this point, we got to try to get the farm down or a catch. Looks like our opponent ends up getting to a move. Fire Punch is not enough for the KO, but our opponent gets the snipe. We had the Scorching Sands, but the game wouldn't register. So that is really unfortunate, and now we're gonna have to just fire off the Sparkling, and not gonna be able to win this game here, unfortunately. They had a really good backline of Lantern. If they had the Spark version, it would have done really well against our Lapras, but then at least our Diggersby would be able to withstand their Spark fast move. So they got the perfect backline that they needed. Okay, now we get the perfect lead. Let's see if they're going to stay or bring in... Okay, ends up being the Volt Switch Fortress, and that has zero play into the Diggersby because we're resisting their fast move pressure. They are probably running Earthquake, but it takes them a while to get to. But in the time that they get to 2 Earthquakes, we would be able to get to multiple Fire Punches to either grab some shields or just completely take them out. Good lead here. Again, the Ghost type does not want to see Wiggly, and they switch into a Fury Cutter Golisopod. So this is not really an answer to our Wiggly. This is trying to bait out something, but we're just going to stay in and fire off all these Swifts. We end up getting a shield, so that's pretty nice. We have an option here to shield because we're very close to another move. We end up deciding to shield once, and we're going to force the issue again. We are going to get the shoot or going to get the KO. Our opponent decides to let it go, and there it is. So Clockstar is lurking in the back. We have our Lapras for it, so we force out the switch, and we actually get to a move before this Dusknoir is able to get to a move. We get the last shield, and that is huge. So that means that we don't have to shield this. They go for the Shadow Punch bait, and that means that we can reach another Sparkling. Our opponent here is gonna barely survive that Sparkling, but Lapras has already done his job. We don't have to worry about this anymore, and we just gotta make sure we just go into our Diggersby, and this Clockstar has no chance against our one shield Diggersby scenario. So GG's to our opponent. Good lead. Unfortunately for our opponent, Golisopod, not really an answer to the Wiggly, so we force out the shield, and then we just kind of snowball from there. We just got good alignment. Next, we got the Wiggly into Shadow Dragonair again. Really good lead. Our opponent stays in for a little bit, but then swaps into their Shadow Charizard. So, interesting pick here. Makes sense of fire protecting the dragon. Now, we are going to have to think about shielding because these blast birds would definitely hurt. I don't think it would have KO'd, but it would have allowed them to potentially farm us down. So, we did show the correct blast burn, but you can see how fragile this Charizard is. Just side waves alone have gotten this Charizard into the low yellow, now into the red. And we're going to fire up another Sparkling. Our opponent lets it go. And because we overfarmed just a tad extra, we get to this Ice Beam before our opponent gets to their move. So let's see if they invest a shield. Boom! Down goes the Dragonair. And now we have the perfect alignment that we need. This here is going to be favorable for us because even if this Dynamic Punch goes through, we are able to survive it. And we can just permanently debuff them for the rest of the game. So GG's to our opponent. Our opponent realizes that they have no chance to win that backline. Even with the shield, because of the no fast move pressure of Dusknoir into our Wiggly. Next, we're going to have Wiggly into the Florges. Okay, what moveset is the Florges running is the question here. They are going to be able to reach the very spammy Chilling Waters really quickly. So let's see. They decide to go for the Chilling Water and they get the debuff. So that's already a positive situation for them. And because the charms are chunking away, we just have to go for Swips. Our opponent does decide to throw a Trailblaze now. And we're just going to fire off this Swift before they get to another move so that we can either force a shield or win the lead. And down goes the Florges. So we see the Diggersby. So we're going to swap into our Lapras, trying to force the issue. Whether they need to switch out or stay in. They decide to stay in, interesting enough. And we are able to tank the first move and avoid the debuff. So that's a good first step for us. They tank it as well, but these super effective Sparklings are adding up. Our opponent does reach another move here. Why are they staying in? Let's think about this. Do they have another ground type in the back? Let's find out. We are going to fire off another Sparkling. This is going to get the shield or the KO. They decided to let it go. And there it is. There's another ground type. And it's ended up being the Clogsire. But we have the Diggersby. And we know this is a huge advantage for us. So check out the team if you haven't already. And let us know if you enjoyed the video.